With breaking news just coming in. Sources say Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is said to have shared sensitive details about the strike in Yemen.
Wait, since we're talking about firing, how the hell does this lady still have a job? The hell with the fake news. This lady should have been fired a long time ago. I'm just saying.
Hegseth is said to have shared sensitive details about the strike in Yemen targeting Houthis in a second Signal group chat on March 15th that included his wife and brother, among others.
Multiple sources tell CNN Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth revealed.
Oh, the hell with CNN. How is this? They ain't shut this down. They ain't lost their license yet. They should have been shut down CNN. The hell with CNN and this lady in this bubblegum suit.
Attack plans for airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen in another Signal chat. This one included his wife, brother, and personal attorney. Now, this second Signal chat is in addition to the one Hegseth used to communicate about military plans with cabinet.
Let's get into today's video, man. God bless some beautiful patriots around the world.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, oh boy, God diggity dog. I got to pull out that DW-40. Old Rust Bucket is running out of moisture. I tell you, you just can't catch a break. I want some of this DW-40. Shout out to my brother, man. This was a gift. This is probably the best cup, one of the best cups. I've gotten some amazing cups from you guys, man. Some amazing things from my family members on this channel. Amazing cups from Trump cups, Elvis Presley cups, custom-made clocks and portraits. I've gotten some amazing gifts, man. I really appreciate this. Shout out to my brother Cam, man. Got to throw some WD-40 early in the morning, I tell you. Boy, it just doesn't stop, y'all. It doesn't stop, family. Pete Hegseth, and right now trending worldwide, Pete Hegseth must resign. Hashtag Pete Hegseth must resign. Hashtag fire Pete Hegseth. Yeah. Trump fire Pete Hegseth. Trump and Pete Hegseth. Yeah. We got a lot of things to get into in today's video, man. A lot of breaking news, updates, a lot of things going on, man. And it just doesn't stop with the radical left. These Democrats, you know, and they're so desperate, man. But we know how this plays out with the left and the fake news media. It's going to keep it real. You know, we've been through this just a couple of weeks ago. And here we are again, once again. So let's just go and jump in off the deep end. Chuck Schumer. Still trying to figure out if he can put a burger on the grill, if he can actually cook a hamburger on the grill. Chuck says the details keep coming out and we're learning how Pete Hegseth put lives at risk, but Trump is still too weak to fire him. Pete Hegseth must be fired. That's what Chuck Schumer said. Oh, Chuck says the reason there's a reason they're desperate to get Pete Hegseth fired. He must be doing some incredible work at the Pentagon. We must rally behind Pete. Oh boy. And we have other people, you know, on the other side. Are you effing kidding me? He is a DUI hire, a national security threat. They're saying Pete Hegseth is drunk as hell. And that he needs to breathe in a walkie-talkie. Sir, breathe in this walkie-talkie. That's what they're saying. You know, that's what the left is saying. The Democrats, the liberals, they want Pete Hegseth to breathe in a walkie-talkie and check his blood alcohol level. Yeah. Oof. I want to read this bad boy right here. Where is it at? Okay, here it is. When they come after Pete Hegseth, just remember everything they don't want to talk about. Recruiting is up. Oh boy. And we've seen those numbers. Hopefully we can pull that out in today's video. Those numbers are uphill, man. Uphill. Morale is up. Standards are up. Efficiency is up. American influence is up. And most importantly, lethality is up. What's down? Only the influence of neocons, warmongers, and the use of military to promote politicized nonsense. That's what they want back. It's not about some signal chat. And that is coming from tough patriot Charlie Kirk. It's not about some signal chat. Everything is up. Everything good is up. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to report on it. You know, just like anything Trump does good or anything comes down, and gas prices can shoot down, inflation, everything. He can cure cancer. They don't want to report on it. They're going to continue to bash and hate the man. And they're going to want everybody else to hate the man. And that's what we have with the fake news media. We are against a great evil in this country. And anything that takes place, it's all Trump's fault. A plane can fall out the sky in Japan, Trump's fault. You know? We're living in some sad, pathetic times, man. You know? Somebody unalive themselves with a gun, it's Trump's fault. Not the person that needed mental help. We're going to blame it on the gun and Trump. It's Trump's fault. That's the sad, disgraceful times that we're living in. It's all Trump's fault, MAGA's fault, conservatives' fault. What a disgrace, man. What a disgrace, you know. But Pete Hegseth is everything the lefties beta boys aren't. Smart, well-spoken, good-looking, fit, and patriotic. I am standing behind Pete Hegseth. And Laura Loomer says, notice that there's a massive effort to fire Pete Hegseth, but there isn't an effort to demand accountability at the NSC, DNI, and DOJ. The deep state just wants to purge MAGA loyalists from the administration instead of firing Biden holdovers. Oh boy. And Pete Hegseth cooked the Democrats' X page. Because the Democrats' X page says Pete Hegseth needs to go. And he responds and says, your agenda is illegals, trans, DEI, all which are no longer allowed. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, hold that right there, Democrats. What a way to respond, man. And people have broke the internet saying, I stand with Pete Hegseth. I stand with Pete Hegseth. Raise your hand if you strongly support Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. You know, and mind you, this is all trending and going on Easter Sunday. This just broke the news Easter Sunday. So you guys might see this video a couple hours behind, you know. And I hope you guys had an amazing Easter, man. Got to spend time with your loved ones. Had amazing services. You know, that everything went well, man. Happy Easter to everybody. Yes, indeed, man. This administration is completely different, man, than the previous administration. A night and day difference. Easter Sunday was a transgender, trans visibility day. You know, throw some WD-40 on it. Cause I don't know, man. It need to be oiled down. Somebody need to be arrested. Somebody need to be put in handcuffs. But he says, I stand with Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth did nothing wrong. Do not listen to the fake news. You know? Yeah. Yeah, buddy. I guarantee this is another phony deep state attempt to remove Pete Hegseth because he's doing an amazing job. What are your thoughts? Yeah, what do y'all think, man? The reason I'm reading all this out because I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below before we get into the video from the fake news. You know, we've seen this before. We've made videos on this before. We told you what was coming and for this administration, man. And this is why I'm recording this and I'm not surprised. And there's going to be more things like this, more attacks, attempts on the Trump administration. They're going to bash this administration. They do not want this administration to win anything, to achieve anything. They want everything to fail. Being real with you guys, man. They are not rooting for America. They are traitors. They hate America. And this goes for the fake news. This goes for the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the ABCs, the CBSs. They need a talking point. They need to fuel their propaganda. Their fear mongering. They don't want this guy to win. Even if he does win, they do not want to say that he won, that he achieved this, that this is happening, that stuff is coming down. Just being real with you guys, man. But there it is, you know, Pete Hegseth. Calling to be fired.
Multiple sources tell CNN Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth revealed attack plans for airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen in another signal chat. This one included his wife, brother, and personal attorney. Now, this second signal chat is in addition to the one Hegseth used to communicate about military plans with cabinet officials last month that is now under investigation by the Defense Department's acting inspector general. I want to go straight to CNN's Kevin Liptak, who is at the White House for more on this. Kevin, what are we learning about this?
Yeah, and if this all sounds sort of reminiscent of that scandal that engulfed the administration about a month ago, it should, because the Secretary of Defense, we are now learning, shared very similar details about the U.S. attack plans on the Houthi rebels.
It's CNN. I know y'all. Rick, we couldn't find a better source. Rick, I know. You know. But, you know, this is on the fake news. This is on the top of the fake news agenda. They got to make sure they come out with the best headline, the best reporting. People got to make some kind of stuff up. They got to make it sound even worse than what even if it's completely nothing. It could be somebody touching a pillow and they turn it into somebody threw a bomb. Somebody touched a pillow, but now CNN says that somebody threw a bomb. So we know how this plays out. So again, it's CNN. Hey, get over it, y'all.
In Yemen on a second signal group, and we understand that this included things like takeoff times for some of those fighter jets as they were preparing to strike those targets in Yemen. The big difference here is who comprised each of these signal groups, because remember that first time around, that group was created by the National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. It was intended to coordinate this attack with members of the cabinet officials who were in top national security positions in the administration, and he inadvertently included the journalist Jeffrey Goldberg. This new signal group that we are just learning about this evening included some members of Pete Hegseth's inner circle it's not clear what reason they would have to have this information about the strikes that the U.S. was planning to carry out. It included his brother and his personal attorney, they both work at the Pentagon. It's not clear whether they have security clearances. It also included his wife, Jennifer, who has accompanied him previously in meetings with other foreign officials, which has raised some eyebrows among certain officials at the Pentagon. Now, as you mentioned, that original signal sort of snafu is now being investigated by the Inspector General at the Pentagon. It's not clear whether this latest revelation will be included in the review. The Pentagon officially has not commented on these latest revelations, which I should note were first reported by the New York Times. But this does punctuate a period of chaos inside the Pentagon and inside the inner circle.
Some still don't feel right. It's like fishy, and I'm just like, does Pete Hegseth even know this? I'm look, y'all. Again, we're gonna let everything play out like we did last time. And Trump says, I don't fire it, like he said, and you know, when the first one came out, I don't fire anybody because of witch hunts and fake news. That's what President Trump says. Something else bigger is going on down there, y'all. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. Oh boy. And sorry if I look a little stuffy, y'all. These trees over here in Texas with all this tree sperm. I mean, you're scratching, itching, can't see, can't breathe. I mean, you got the, you know, it's a disgrace, man. All this tree sperm in the air. I'm telling you, when I went out the country, it's like when you leave America, everywhere else, there's no tree sperm like it is here. I didn't have any allergies when I went outside of America 2 months ago. Y'all know I love my country, man, but I'm just saying, though. I don't know what they got down here in these trees and in the air. You know, all these chemicals. I don't know, man. They're trying to get us out of here. All this tree sperm.
Pete Hegseth, you'll remember just last week, senior officials who were in sort of his front office at the Pentagon were fired essentially for what officials described as a leak investigation. And this is all sort of drawing questions, including from some loyalists, some allies of Pete Hegseth, at how this chaos has been allowed to perpetuate. We just heard from John Ulyat, who until recently was Pete Hegseth's press secretary at the Pentagon. He says that it's been a month of total chaos at the Pentagon, from leaks of sensitive operational plans to mass firings. The dysfunction is now a major distraction for the president, who deserves better from his senior leadership. Ulyat goes on to say even strong backers of the secretary, like me, must admit the last month has been a full-blown meltdown at the Pentagon, and it's becoming a real problem for the administration. Part of the problem, of course, is that this is not sort of a quiet period for national security. You have Pete Hegseth making sort of preparations on the president's command, these designs on the Panama Canal. He was just there visiting earlier this month. You also have this buildup of U.S. assets in the Middle East in preparation for a potential Israeli strike on Iran. You also have tensions in Asia. So this is a fraught period for the Pentagon to be undergoing, this period of chaos. And certainly, I think now you'll hear from officials who are questioning whether Pete Hegseth is sort of the man for the job at this very fraught moment.
You know. And then, you know, one thing I really hate about this as well, like I said last time, and I said if anything like this happens or any, you know, and I said it's probably, and I said it in a video, I said this is probably going to happen again. There's going to probably be another witch hunt. There's going to be another sham going to take place. There's going to be another inside job. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And then they're going to run onto the internet and these places and say Trump is incompetent administration. He has people that are working in these positions that are drunk. They're going to bring the drunk card out. They're going to say the man is drunk. He's a DUI hire. DUI. That he's been drinking on the job. I said, I told y'all, we predicted this. I said, be ready for the next one. Be ready for the next sham. And sitting up here seeing CNN report this, something still just is fishy and doesn't feel right, man. Once again, with this being the second time, man, the second signal chat. Then again, we're gonna let everything play out. You know, we're gonna let everything play out and see what all the details come out from this. Because we know when CNN and these fake news media and sources get it, you know, you can't trust it.
I should also note that when those original war plans, attack plans were shared in the Signal group, the administration and the White House and President Trump denied that there was anything classified contained in that information. Of course, that drew a lot of skepticism from almost every national security analyst that we talked to, Jessica.
Yeah. All right, Kevin Liptak with the breaking news there at the White House. Thank you so much. And joining us now to talk more about this, CNN senior military analyst and retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton. Also Colonel. With us, former Pentagon Deputy Press Secretary Sabrina Singh. Sabrina, I want to start first with you. Let's zoom out for a second. I want to get your thoughts just as you're hearing all of this information, this idea that there was a second Signal chat where he was sharing this information about these strikes with people like his wife, his brother, his personal attorney, who don't have security clearances. What are you thinking as someone who stood at that podium at the Pentagon and knows how this information is typically handled?
I mean, it's truly shocking. I think
it don't even sound. Hey, I'm gonna just let it play out. I'm gonna let it play out, y'all. But it don't even sound. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the exact same way I'm feeling because But hey, we're gonna let it play out. CNN.
When I saw this reporting coming out from the New York Times at first, there was no question there were going to be more Signal threads. Who started them? This one in particular was started by Pete Hegseth. And for him to add, his wife, his brother, his personal attorney,
here you go.
People that don't need access or need to know about classified information about operations involving the Houthis in any way. I mean, this is something that we would never do under the previous administration. And on top of that,
see, here it is.
Putting these classified details into a commercial texting app like Signal, again, that puts our fighter pilots at risk. That was something that, certainly concerned me deeply when these texts were first exposed just a month ago. It's that same concern. It's putting the operation, those fighter pilots who are in the air about to conduct this operation at risk with people that don't need to know this information.
And Cedric, I want to go off what Sabrina's saying there from the military perspective. Again, just the potential for danger for our men and women in uniform. What kind of potential for danger is there if this information were to get leaked or get into the wrong hands? Again, this is an encrypted app, but it is not a secure line. And in fact, his advisors had warned him that it wasn't a secure place to be sharing information like this.
Yeah, that's right, Jessica. And Sabrina's exactly right. First of all, we look at the fighter pilots and all of the effort that goes into planning air operations of this type. People don't realize, if you're not involved in air operations, a lot of people don't understand that these are very complex operations, and there's a lot that can go wrong as you plan them. And one of the key things is when you actually plan these operations and you have specific things like time over target, the type of ordnance that's going to be dropped, the type of targets that you're going after, the exact target that you're going after, all of those kinds of things are absolutely essential elements of information. And those essential elements of information are exactly what makes these kinds of texts classified. And no matter what they will spin at this Pentagon, this stuff is classified, no doubt about it. And Jessica, this is the kind of thing that gets people in trouble. When the first Signal chat scandal broke, we talked about the old World War II adage, loose lips sink ships. this is exactly the kind of thing that happens because signal chats can be intercepted by sophisticated adversaries like the Russians, like the Chinese. It's difficult for them to do so, but they've proven that they can do it in Ukraine. And it's the kind of thing that we have to guard against. And, these types of signal chats, even if they happen in the United States, in the DC area, you can bet that the Russians and the Chinese are working very hard to intercept them.
And we know that the Chinese government has been trying to hack into a number of elected officials' phones, including, all the way up to the vice president and others. Sabrina, I want to go to the statement that we obtained, that CNN obtained from John Oliot, who was most recently Hegseth press secretary, again, a role you're quite familiar with. And our colleagues, Natasha Bertrand, Jake Tapper, Haley Thomas, and Zachary Cohen, write in this piece that he said in the statement, it's been a month of total chaos at the Pentagon, from leaks of sensitive operational plans to mass firings. The dysfunction is now a major distraction for the president, who deserves better from his senior leadership. For his former press secretary, again, just recently former, to be saying that and to be quoted saying that, what do you make of that?
I mean, I have to agree. He's not wrong. We're nearly 100 days into this presidency, and it does seem that America and our military is less safe. I mean,
I tell you, Jesus, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it with no CNN. I just can't do it with the CNN. I just can't do it with no CNN. I just can't do it with CNN. Is that right, Sabrina? Huh? Sabrina? I can't do it with these people, man. But what do y'all think of this, man? Can't wait to read the comment section, how everybody feels. And do you stand with Pete Hegseth? I would love to know. Please let me know in the comment section. How do y'all feel about Pete Hegseth? Everything is rising. Things are soaring. And, and that's right now with the military. Everything is soaring. Everything is rising with Pete Hegseth and our military. But they don't want to report on that. Yeah. They want them gone. The warmongers want them fired. Yeah. They're saying do not listen to the fake news. Remember this. Democrats' desperation to get rid of Trump pick is directly correlated to effective. They are best Secretary of Defense we could ask for is Pete Hegseth. Man, so I think it's not me reading some of these. It's just some of the wording and spacing that people tweet. It's just y'all got to do better on here, man. Y'all got to put it better, man. Yes, indeed, man. But if you stand with Pete Hegseth, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this second signal chat. And what you believe for y'all to be. Again, we're waiting on everything to come out. It's gonna come out, man. But be ready for the left once again to try everything they can. They're desperate. You're gonna hear about people drinking. He's drunk. He's drunk. The drunk jokes, the drunk memes. That he's drinking on the job. Be ready for it all, man. I told you guys this. I warned y'all about this in previous videos. We warned y'all at the hearings. Before he was sworn in. Right. Here we are, man. Here we are. But things are rising, soaring with our military. And they don't want to report on it, man. They do not want to report on it. They just want to bash not only Trump, but this administration any way they can possible. There's going to be more, things come up, inside jobs, shams, scams, lies are going to come out, more lies and fear mongering, bias, hatred. They're not going to tell the truth. They're not going to report on what's actually happening. And that's just what we have in this country, and the great evil against this administration and President Trump. And that's why we say prayers for Trump and this administration, man. Prayers, But we stand with Pete Hegseth. Let me know how you feel, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, family.